It's Zena, your best friend who loves horror. When it comes to nightclubs and horror movies, they don't really get their shine, which is understandable because honestly, who watches horror movies to see which club people are going to go to before terror rains down on their lives? Me. It's me. I do. I love when horror movies showcase their cast being social butterflies, going out, drinking, dancing, just having a nice time, you know, like absolutely nothing's wrong. But something that I really love is when the club actually looks like it's fun. Sure, you might be a victim and your skull might end up, you know, as a decoration on some beautiful chocolate goddess's desk in her cool horror library, but I'm sure that you had an awesome time. Well, today I'm sharing with you my top 5 world's best nightclubs, and this is the horror edition. Perfect! So, the first movie I like to talk about is The Collection from 2012. This movie is the sequel to The Collector from 2009. In this one, they bless our eyeballs with an insanely bloody scene in a nightclub. This club is packed with people getting their groove on, sucking on each other's faces, and this is when the Collector strikes again. So for those of you who do not know, the Collector in the first film, he likes to set up booby traps that's designed to kill. In this one, the Collector, he sets up a machine that looks similar to a giant lawnmower. So you know it's gonna be bloody and out of control. Throughout this film, there's tarantulas, people in cages, hands getting nailed to the walls. I mean, it's pretty cool. There's some dogs too, and so much more. This film is extremely violent and super gory. And I feel like a lot of the traps, they look similar to a bear trap. The brutality in this film made me never want to go to a club ever again. I can say honestly in my lifetime, I probably have only been to maybe like 4 clubs. And after I saw this one back in 2012, forget it. What's the point? No. I have to say though, I am a huge fan of this series. I'm always super entertained by it. I think that it's fast paced, it's fun. I'm really looking forward to the 3rd installment called The Collected. So, not too sure when it's coming out yet, but I know that they recently put out some like teaser photos and stuff, so that's pretty cool. So the next one I like to talk about is Blade from 1998. I love this movie so much. I remember it came out when I was in 6th grade and I was so freaking in love with it, okay? I desperately, like, I don't know what was going on with me. I wanted to be Blade, but then I also wanted to be Deacon Frost because he was just so cool and he wore leather pants. Okay, I've always wanted to wear leather pants, still to this day, but I live in Florida and it's hot. What am I going to do? Wear it in my house? Sometimes I do, actually. Vampires really know how to have a good time, and Stephen Norrington's Blade, it's the perfect example. This film shows vampires in a modern light. They hate sunlight, they party all night, and they dress extremely smexy. I just like the word smexy. Seriously, leather pants everywhere. Before Blade raids this LA rave club, which is owned by vampire Deacon Frost, an unknown man is lured to this underground nightclub by a woman he appears to be dating. The man quickly realizes that something is wrong by how everyone is treating him. People are being extremely rude towards him. I mean, people he doesn't even know, including the woman who brought him to the club. Like, what happened? Why is she just being so rude? But then, when the fire sprinklers come on, it's not water, it's blood. So yeah, it's actually a vampire club, and everybody pretty much hated the guy because, you know, he's a snack, and not in a good way. He's their snack. When I first saw this movie when I was a kid, I knew that something bad was going to happen when this guy, he arrived at this club. You just felt it. But there was something about the music, the crowd, like I just kept on like dancing. I remember just like really dancing, like I stopped, you know, it's just one of those things. It was, oh God, that song. Seriously, I know that vampires are bad. I know that vampires kill. I know that vampires just want your blood and, you know, but they have awesome taste in clothing and music and clubs. Like, I just want to dance. That's all I want. So the next one we're going to be talking about is from Robert Rodriguez. It is a classic, and it is From Dusk Till Dawn from 1996. Two fugitive brothers on the run hold a family hostage after they smuggle themselves over the Mexican border. In Mexico, they stop at this strip club in the desert where all the workers just so happen to be vampires. Also, by the way, there's a band, and the band, they're actually vampires too. So that's pretty cool. Okay, so this film, it takes place in a strip club, and you're probably like, I don't want to go to a strip club. But here's the thing. They look like they were having a good time up until like they revealed themselves to be vampires. And you know, even though they were all like vampires and stuff, I really still do think that, you know, if you did go to that club before they turned into vampires, you would have a good time. Like, I feel like I would have had a great time. Moving right along, we're going to be talking about Ichi the Killer from 2001. Adopted from a manga, this one tells the story of a young, disturbed, and tormented man who has insanely great karate skills named Ichi. This film is very violent, especially towards women, and in some ways, I can't even say if I would recommend this to you, especially if you cannot handle this type of stuff, you don't like the violence, then you may want to skip this one. When it comes to the nightclub in this film, I've always been so in love with it because it's like an underworld type of nightclub. And even though gang members would hang out there, it still looked like a good time. Something I was thinking, I understand that this club, it is filled with gang members, and it's like, hey, why would you want to go there? They're violent, they're scary, and you're right, I don't want any trouble. But something I'm thinking is, if I put on my sunglasses, and then that way I'm not really looking people in their eyes and stuff like that, they probably won't notice me. Because I just want to go and just have a good time and like dance and, you know, live my life. That's what I want to do. Alright guys, so we made it to number 5, and we're going to be talking about Queen of the Damned from 2002. Loosely based on Anne Rice's The Vampire Chronicles series, The Queen of the Damned from 1988, the late, talented, and beautiful Aaliyah has the role of vampire queen Akasha. While looking fabulous and searching for Lestat, Akasha arrives at a vampire club in London called the Admiral Arms. She looks very different from the other vampires, as if she's from a different time, because she is, and she's more powerful. So she overhears some of the vampires in the club talking about how they want to kill Lestat, and clearly that rubbed her the wrong way, so she rips out a vampire's heart and brutally murders the rest of them, and then tortures the whole entire club. So just being completely honest with you guys, I have always been super intrigued by this movie. I love it so much. I know that it has so many bad reviews, and I heard that a lot of people who love the book, they're not fans of this movie, and I get it, but I love it, and we're talking about me right now. So I love this movie because I was a huge fan of Aaliyah. I've always thought that she was super talented and beautiful. And also Stuart Townsend, I've always liked him as an actor. And the soundtrack in this movie, it's like it was made for me. This like defines just my high school experience, minus me being a vampire or chasing after vampires or killing people or sucking on blood or traveling international or being in a band or singing, but I still liked it.
What? Bro, what are you talking about, man?
When I think about the club, you know, that all vampires club, it's like I really want to go to that club. I know that I'm not a vampire, but I still think that I should be invited. Like, I could possibly even bring my tumbler, then that way I don't have to like go to the bar and like talk to anyone. I don't even think that people would know I'm there. When Akasha, you know, she comes in and she's like killing everybody, maybe she won't notice me, maybe she will, but at the same time, I mean, I would look good, you know, while this is happening. Like, wait, before she does like, you know, torch the whole club or rip out my heart, let me just put on some lip gloss. At least I will look great while it, you know, happens.
What?
Alright guys, so that's my list. I hope that you enjoyed it. I'm interested to know what are some of your favorite nightclubs in horror that you like. Feel free to comment that below, and thank you guys so much for watching. I'll see you next time.